Okay, Johnstone Channel Dragon Balls here for round 2 of this Phantom Sealed, and obviously we're going to go ahead and ship this one, and we are on the play, absolutely. Ship it. And this is not doing, but at least our opponent mulliganed. So we'll take, wow. Okay. This is about as good as we can expect. So that's pretty tough, but one lander on the play in this deck is not a winning strategy. So, I mean, gotta do what gotta do. We're not out of it, so just need to draw some spells. 18 land deck. I mean, you hope that doesn't happen to you, but I mean, Magic's a game of variance. Yeah, that's not great for us. So this game might not last much longer, depending on how aggressive our opponent's draw is. We really need some spells, and that's a spell. Let's go ahead and tap correctly. At this point, he's stuck on lands at least. So interesting game. So at least we're making our land drops. Doesn't look like our opponent is. He's thinking, I guess, if he wants to offer this trade. I think we have to block here. We're not winning by letting the thing keep hitting us. So we'll just keep hitting our land drops and hope to draw out of this at some point. So we're almost at half our lands in the deck. So there's an Annihilating Fire. The only spell in our deck that we can't cast. Good job, deck. So he's got color screwed, I'm sure, and now the floodgates are probably about to open, but I guess not. So here we go. Wonder what this could be. Maybe an Alive and Well, but that's odd. Okay. Rumble Belt Rhino. This is one of the stupidest mechanics ever printed. Wizards needs to fix this. But there's a Karaz to monitor. So we're taking this. We're not chumping. Unless he gives us a real big reason to. But I mean, that's not a winning line there, chumping the monitor. So and here we go. What do we got here? Opponent's taking quite a bit of time. Well, I guess he's kind of tanking, so here we go. Another Rumbleback Rhino. Quite the deck our opponents put together. So we'll just play our Drudge Beetle, and now we're looking at double blocking one of the two, then scavenging I assume onto the Dredge Beetle, because if he plays it correctly, he will kill the monitor. But, come on. Okay, we are connected. This is a good way to check to see if you're connected. If your stats come up, you're still connected, so I don't understand quite why the game is freezing. There we go. And let's see what we got from. I mean, our opponent is probably still missing a color, unless he just got a really good deck. Now, I am worried about Pump Spell potentially blowing me out, but I don't have a lot of options, given that these things both have hexproof. So we're just going to go ahead and double block. They both have Scavenge too, so at least I get marginal value out of these, even if they just get completely run over. So yeah. And we got Scab Clan Charger, which just enough to do it. But I mean, there's our Annihilating Fire that does nothing because hexproof is a stupid mechanic. I mean, these are obviously not getting abused, so even if they just had Shroud, actually, I mean, the pump wouldn't have happened if they had Shroud, but that's just me on my soapbox. I'm not a big fan of the hexproof mechanic, and that's more of a constructed problem than it is a limited problem. But anyway, so this was just, I mean, he's got 6 spells in hand, so it's just a deal where all we drew was land. Well, that'll help. So we'll just do this, and then we'll scavenge the Dredge Beetle. And he's got a Tristani's Judgment, or an Advent of the Worm. Okay, so we are dead, and we will scoop up our cards. Wait, no we're not. We're not quite dead yet. We get a block here, and like I said, this is just, I drew 5 spells, and he drew, and we know everything in his hand because he hasn't been playing like, he's missed land drops. So and we get to see another spell from him, so which is lethal. So I think we can beat this deck. We just have to not flood out. Yeah, 9 land, 5 spells. Wasn't winning that game, so I think he must have a lot of pump spells, and that's what he was in his hand. So I don't have a whole lot. I mean, just, I think he's on just the hexproof pump plan, and if that's what it is, that's what it is. So just need to draw better. But I don't think any of those hands that we mulliganed were keepable. And by the time we were on, I think we kept 5 or 4 or 5. I mean, this deck doesn't work off 1 land. So I played it the best I could, put us in a position to potentially win the game, and just didn't get there. So we're gonna wait for our opponent to submit a deck, and I'll be back for the game 2. Okay, so we're back. We are going to, I think we're going to draw. One thing I did do on the sideboard was I switched out the Annihilating Fire for Wardstorm Surge. Since we saw 2 hexproof creatures, I think it's better to have the combat trick as opposed to the targeted removal spell. So, this hand is amazingly awkward. But I think we're going to keep it just off the power of Symbol Legion, and we have 8 white sources in the deck, so all you can do is what you can do. Like I said, last time we had a tough mult of 4, and so our opponent was color screwed last game. Not a great draw, but all we can do is what we can do. So, and another white card. So, but again, all we need to get back in this game is just a white source. Our opponent's not doing anything. He seems to have a slow, kind of grindy deck. So, maybe and so not running very well at all. So just we only have 1 double red card. If we draw some green spells, then we can play. But so okay, there we go. So next turn we get to drop a Symbol of Legion. This turn, I think we just drop the Snare Squad. One of the things that I try to make sure I do is always leave the most colors up if I don't have a play, just because it bluffs the most things. And it's kind of a small thing, but sometimes it can get your opponent to think about stuff. There's Advent of the Worm, which is rough. It's very rough for us to deal with. So there's the Sunspire Gatekeepers. It's to swing for 7. And I don't know if we can play a Symbol of Legion now. Man. Okay, so now our plan is Skyjack and Sentry. And if our opponent has an Eyes in the Skies, we are just not winning this game. We probably double block. We just need to get this off. We can deal with these pretty easily. We need to get rid of the token, especially before he populates it. So what do we got from our opponent? Azorius Arrestor. Wow. This is rough. I mean, really? Oh, yeah. Arrest. Tap. So no good blocks. 2. It's 9. I don't. Go to 2. Yeah, I don't. We didn't have a winning line there. Oops. We're gonna play this, and yeah, we're gonna have to put this here and actually we're just dead, completely dead. So that mull to 4 the game 1 was obviously terrible. I don't know what our opponent's splashing blue for, but we need him to not. And the Luminant Primordial for the rub-ins. So, yeah. Wait. That was odd. I don't think he should have done that. I mean, it's completely irrelevant because he gets to tap our dude. But anyway, that game was kind of frustrating. Again, we had another game where we just drew 4 spells and our opponent curved out on us amazingly well. So, not a whole lot we could do. Feel like we drew pretty poorly, but we will be back to record the last round. The Phantom Seals are Swiss, so we'll be back to record that. So I'll see you guys in round 3.